Hi guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. So, for today's video we are going to discuss about the homeroom guidance of Grade 12, Quarter 1, Module 3, entitled, Thinking Aloud My Decisions. And, at the end of this module, you are expected to 1. Identify the factors that affect the right and wrong actions or decisions. 2. Recognize the tendencies of every individual to make right and wrong decisions or actions, and 3. Analyze situations that depict tendencies of making right and wrong decisions or actions. In the previous module, you learned how to accept others' individuality. You even formulated your personal policies or guidelines to uphold acceptance and respect of people's differences at all times. In this module, you are up to another insightful learning episode. You will delve into the decision-making process. Remember that you are free to choose a course of action from among various alternatives. However, your choice has consequences, and you are responsible for your own actions. You will encounter some factors that may affect your sound decision-making, like past experiences, biases, current situation or setup, and individual differences. Let's try this first activity. So you have to read the story of Anton, a senior high school graduate, then answer the processing questions on a separate sheet of paper. Anton, who took up the general academic strand in senior high school, has a hard time deciding what course to enroll in college. He graduated with honors and has received special citations. He is great in science and math, but he is also into arts and graphic designing. He was told by his parents to decide for his course since colleges are already closing admission and the school opening is approaching fast. He is spending night analyzing his options. Sometimes he barely sleeps, overanalyzing all considerations. There are also pressures from his friends for him to join them in the university, where there are a wide variety of science course he can choose from. He also considers the suggestions of his teachers, who see his potential in graphic designing and multimedia arts. Anton really wants to enroll in the most prestigious school to study the course that perfectly fits him. After thorough self-deliberation, he comes down to 2 schools and 4 courses. But this does not end his considerations, he still has more factors to visit. His family and friends are starting to worry if he could ever make a final decision. It has finally come one day when everything was in place. Anton finally decides to enroll. He hurries to the school of his choice, but he's an hour late. The enrollment has just closed for his first choice. To add in more to his regrets, his second chosen program has also reached the maximum number of students and it was closed days ago. Sad and full of regrets, Anton goes home thinking of the lost time, overthinking his options. And that is because he can just not make up his mind. Processing questions. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. 1. Did you experience spending more time to make a decision that greatly affects you or your future, just like Anton? Share your experience. 2. If you were in his situation, what would be your next move? 3. What should you do so you won't face the same problem as that of Anton? Let's explore another activity, entitled, Agree or Disagree. So, on a separate sheet of paper, write agree or disagree on the given situations. Read each statement carefully to make sure that it best matches your opinion. 1. I cannot tell my best friend's parents about his smoking and drinking tendencies because I will betray his trust. 2. I should consider the advice of my parents when it comes to choosing my course in college. 3. It is okay to take credit for other people's work as long as it serves a good purpose. 4. Choosing a career that will employ easily is more practical than pursuing a passion that will take years before getting a good earning. 5. The curriculum exit that you should choose after senior high school should best match the track and strand you are taking. Processing questions. 1. What are the factors that you considered in answering? 2. Do your experiences at this time of pandemic change the way you decide on things? In what way? We make countless choices every day, from the very moment we opened our eyes in the morning up to the time we fall back to our beds, and our choices are neither right nor wrong. According to Stephen J. Heine, author of the book Cultural Psychology, choice is something that is surely valued everywhere. However, the extent to which people value choices and exercise it is influenced by the context we are in. More choices are available to individuals acting alone than to those who are part of interdependent group of people. However, the limits on their choices are likely not experienced as aversive when individuals share the same goals as their group. For example, You choose not to attend classes because your peers invited you to join them outside the school during class hour, although you were aware of your responsibility in the school. This phenomenon is explained by Rollo May, an American psychologist, who articulated that human beings are inseparable from their environment. A simultaneous relationship exists, and involving three models such as the following: 1. The physical and physiological. 2. The social environment of the people. And 3. Human beings' relationship to their inner nature. Ludwig Binswanger, an existential psychologist, explained that humans have complete freedom of choice or free will and are completely responsible for their own existence. There was always the possibility of becoming something new or better because existence changes. What are the strategies to promote change and foresee the possible wrong decisions and future actions? According to American psychologist Gerald Corey, first thing is to explore what your wants, needs and perceptions are. Try to recognize, define, and refine how you wish to meet your needs. Second, focus on what you are doing at present and think of your future direction. Take action by changing what you are doing and thinking. Third, make a self-evaluation. It is your responsibility to evaluate your own behavior. Lastly, formulate your action plan. Creating and carrying out your plans enable you to gain more effective control over your life. If your plan does not work, devise a different plan. Your commitment is essential to carry out your plans. Factors that affect our decisions. We act or decide based on different considerations and factors. Most especially if the situations demand a very important decision, we need to carefully assess our choices and calculate the risk that we might face. 1. Environment. The people around us, including the current setup, affect the way we see things. They can influence our beliefs and perception on the consequences of our actions. There are times that we intend to compare how they face a certain problem with the way we face it ourselves. This is something that we need to get away from, as we are all different, including the situations we are in. 2. Experiences. Our past encounter with people and the results of our decisions before mold how we act and decide today. For instance, if you have proven that a certain person should not be trusted with your secrets, then you won't entrust him, her the confidential matters that you have. The same thing if you have a tested action to be effective, like your study habits which led you to get high grades, then there is a great possibility to replicate such practice. Our experiences, whether good or bad, shape the way we behave nowadays. 3. Personal characteristics. We should also take into account the function of our culture, attitude, personality, beliefs, abilities, gender, health condition and others in terms of our way of making a decision. You have to recognize that there are enabling and limiting aspects of your personal characteristics. For instance, in your culture, there may be a stigma on the role of man or woman. It is now up to you whether you want to live up to that expectation or not. You may want to look into what science tells about healthy and unhealthy practices. 4. Facts or data. It is a good practice to decide based on the merit of actual facts or data. It will definitely inform you on the exact scenario you are dealing with, and you can calculate how your decisions would impact the situation. For example, you need to decide your curriculum exit. You may check the number of schools where you can pursue whatever course you have planned to have. At the same time, you may look into the data on senior high school graduates who were employed after basic education and those that ventured into business. 5. Motivation. Our drive to achieve certain things influences our decisions. Sometimes we need to let go of small things in order to attain greater things. For example, you slipped away your opportunity to be with your friends on a Saturday because it's your schedule for college application interview. Your goal to be a college graduate is bigger than your desire to enjoy the company of your friends, so you opted to be at the interview. Your decisions will define the kind of choices you are taking. At the end of the day, you will be the one to face whatever consequences these decisions bring. Hence, your decision-making process is very important. If you are in doubt or confused about your choices, you may want to go to someone who is well trained to guide and facilitate your decision-making process, like a registered guidance counselor, RGC. If an RGC is not available in your school, you may consider getting the insights of your trusted teacher, parents or adults. You can do it. So, copy the following template on a short bond paper and list your alternative course of action on the following situations. Entitled, Looking into My Decisions. So in the given situations you are going to decide on what decision you will do in the second column. And after the decision making, you will decide what are the factors that led you to this decision, then put it in the third column. So, you will be given 5 situations for you to answer. Good luck. Let's test what you have learned in our discussion. This activity, entitled, Dear Anton. Now, go back to the story of Anton in. Let's try this. If you have the power to travel back in time and help him out in choosing for the best school and course to take in college, what advice will you give him? Write your answer in a letter format on a piece of paper. And lastly, it's time to share your thoughts and feelings. 1. On your answer sheet, write your personal experiences depicting right or wrong decisions you made during this pandemic. 2. Cite the reasons why you did such acts, and how you resolved the issues.